Hey everyone, Gary here from Peacekeeper's Armory, here with another Starkiller Saber that I will have up for sale here. This is one that was a personal project, but as time went on and the collection became what it was, I just don't quite have a place for it. So this is going to be going up for sale alongside the other two Force Unleashed style hilts, which I'll re-show here at the end of the video. But this one's a little bit special. This is a Solos Hold TFU2 hilt, and some of you may have seen in previous pictures, I don't think I have a video yet, but I actually got a hold of the original prototype of his hilt, the one that he made, I believe was hand machining prior to the actual batch runs that he made. There were 3 batch runs of this hilt that he did. This is the very first, the prototype for it. So there are some differences, I believe, in the pommel, as well as some of the accent cutting up here as well. But for the most part, it's still the same one. It just has that special, I don't know what you want to call it, but authenticity to it, being the original Starkiller. Or I'm sorry, the original prototype for this this particular run of hilt. This one, it had a not so pleasing finish on it originally, so I actually sent it back to one of the creators, Obi Shane, or Shane McGraw, and he completely refinished the metal, re-weathered it, and then also put a more game accurate, or I should say more promo accurate cloth wrap on here. So this feels really nice in hand, very comfortable. And it's just a nice change from the standard leather wrap, which never really was particularly accurate. So going over a few things, you can see the clamp card there with 2 new machined switch plungers, which Obi Shane did those as well. And then I also had him change out the red, I'll call it the red button insert that was here for one of the garnets that is now in there. So there's a small hole through there, which does allow a little bit of light through. Nothing too intrusive, and really you don't see it unless the blade's in on white. So what I did is, for the programming on this, which is a Profi board, is I programmed the first about up to here of the blade is white, so you get that little bit of shine through. Again, you can pretty much hardly tell it's there, but it's enough to give it that little cool factor. And then from here up is normal color blue is what it's originally programmed for. Now, where it gets kind of interesting is what I wanted to do with this to begin with was give it a nice crystal chamber. So and if you don't know Solos Hold, it's not a thread off. There's a little pin right here that you just need to depress and to unlock this. I made 3D printed and machined a complete metal chamber for this guy. So you can see it in here. It's very, the bottom part from here down is pretty much identical to the Kota one that I did. A couple changes here or there. I added some additional piping there on this side, and then the crystal chamber itself is the 3D printed part with some copper fins and aluminum tubing in there for the wires. So I'll just show. So it's got the Force Unleashed sound font on there. I think it's Secret Apprentice, if I'm not mistaken. Which is the first game sound font, but it still works pretty well. Nice and loud, fully enclosed, well, not enclosed, but fully enclosed from sound venting speaker. I do have a piece that should work for the speaker cover to make this fully enclosed, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do that or not. If somebody ends up buying it, then I'll leave it up to them. But once you put the handle back on, it's super loud. I did have to tone it down a little bit. So you can see NeoPixels on the inside here. Stock V3 MPXLs. And then magnetic cover right there with the speaker detached staying inside. And then here's your board. And then this will be there would be some magnets in there too. And then there is board access. So you're just going to have a 90-degree jack, and then you can plug that in right there, or take the SD card out to make your changes, with a removable battery as well. So that is pretty much it. Pretty much it for the features. It's really, I'll say, challenging to get everything to work and fit properly. With the length in here, I did want the full bass speaker. A lot of the builds on this hilt use the premium speaker, so I wanted to be able to have a crystal chamber, removable battery, and bass speaker, which was pretty ambitious for the size constraint on the length, mostly due to this piece here. And it was already pre-drilled for, what's it called? For the rods. This originally was installed by Obi Shane with a really old tech crystal chamber, which at the time was pretty much cutting edge. But, you know, it's been, many years since then. So I still utilize the same rods. As you can see here, I got, see if we get to focus, two that's weird, I don't know why I did that, but it has 2 screws that go up here into the hilt, and then it's kind of protected and guarded by this ring here. I'm not sure why the camera quality just did what it did, but anywho, so yeah, that's it for that. I will be selling so I will include the option of a blade with this one. The tolerance in here is extremely tight. I actually had to lathe down my blade a little bit because sanding wasn't quite doing it. So that will be an option, or if you want to use your own blade, then that's fine as well. The board is programmed for the particular length blade I have, which I think is roughly 36 inches, with the KR strip, the hard PCB strip in there. So let me see if I can get this to, there we go, it's a little bit better. Now, what I'm also selling with these guys, or not really a batch, but what is also available, if you haven't seen it already, is this Force Unleashed 1. This one is made by 7 Chambers. It's the SKIG. It's one of the best in-game ones that I've seen to date, and I had it weathered by NerfWorks, who did a fantastic job giving it a pretty close to game accurate weathering job on there. I did my best to make the wires as game accurate as possible for how they're twisting around. And they're actually functioning wires, so the power, the positive and negative for the MPX cell up here in the top. If you can see that. Basic chassis, considering it already has an exposed crystal. Showing here. Removable battery, board, and then a recessed kill switch right here. You see the light up crystal as well. This one was a little bit tougher to get a fully enclosed speaker, so I did use electrical tape just to cover the gaps here, to help the sound go out instead of blowing backwards, because it actually comes out of here a little bit if you don't. So this is nice and loud as well inside the hilt. Fantastic build quality. And got another great replica for the Force Unleashed. And then finally, I have the one that I personally designed and made, the General Coda hilt. Fortunately, this one's not weathered up and leather wrapped, or not leather, yeah, leather wrapped with the particular design. I just don't have the resources and time to be able to do that. For the main run that I'm doing, I'm actually outsourcing that to somebody who's essentially professional at it, but this one wouldn't be able to make that cut for how many are being done. So recessed button, or not recessed, but a hidden button here, single button activation and special effects. And this is 3D printed with a machined by me sleeve here, but the rest is 3D printed metal with laser cut chassis discs, dual crystal design, and splits apart in the middle with a removable crystal here. And the crystal, which I don't have on me at the moment, but you can see in photos and other videos, there's a second one of these with a blue crystal, which changes all the presets on there. without having to push buttons and go through settings or whatever. It just does it based on what crystal is in there. So that's really cool. So this one will also be up for sale.
Vancouver was a respected general in the Clone Wars.
There's dual crystal going on there. Again, please see the other video for a full breakdown of this one. But as you can see, this is pretty much the same with the exception of the rods there. So there's that. So here you go. 3 awesome Force Unleashed inspired lightsabers. All 3 of which will be up for sale. And if you have any questions about them, feel free to reach out to me. And I do have, I think, a couple. This final run the run I'm doing for this is all CNC instead of 3D printed. So if you are interested in that, feel free to hit me up. I have 1 or 2 extra spots. It will not be worked on further than what it has been until the Blind Night run that I'm doing is complete. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Really fun doing these, and I hope that they go to a good home that will appreciate them. So see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.